Your new album is called AM. Does that refer to just your band's initials, or is it in reference to perhaps the early hours of the morning, where a lot of your new album seems to be set?
I think that was just a fluke for us. I mean, we did intend on it just being Arctic Monkeys, but then I'm happy for people to think it stands for Aardvark Mauling, which could be a good headline if, you know, an unfortunate accident could happen with an aardvark.
Your new album sounds like it's very inspired by R&B and hip-hop, and a lot of the lyrics are about drinking and having fun. Are they what you were going through at the time of writing, or were you kind of just aping that style of lyricism?
Maybe both. I suppose there's... But I guess it probably leans in the favour of aping.
There's a part in Knee Socks where you're singing quite fast and it's almost a rap. Would you dare venture into that world in the future?
No, I don't think so. I can't. I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah.
People want it, I'll just give the people what they want.
Yeah, I think it's more like I want it to sound good in the car, the way that like 50 Cent in the club does. Like, if that comes on your shuffle, just try and skip it. I dare you. The R&B influence, it's more, I kind of admire the way that music's put together. And that's what we almost wanted to borrow from, let's say, the architecture of contemporary R&B. I don't want to live there necessarily.
Now it's 3 in the morning and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls until my message you replied. Why'd you only call me when you're high? High. Why'd you only call me when you're high?
Your recent video for Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High. It's very good.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy acting?
Were you acting?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
You do a very good impersonation of somebody who's watching various different scenarios of having sex. Have you ever seen that sort of thing?
Where did you borrow from?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a few like, just that for like 2 nights.
Yeah. Yeah, practice it. Did you practice it before though?
The one in the mirror is well dodgy though. Like if you like look at that bit, that was like the first thing we did, and I'm like, what am I doing?
The album's very sexy as well. Queens of the Stone Age are arguably one of the sexiest rock bands on the planet. Did they help you channel your inner sexiness? Sexuality?
Inner sexuality.
Hips.
Borrowed many things perhaps from Joshua, but channeling my inner sexuality, I don't know if that's one of them. But
We just spent the first few years of our career trying not to be sexy. I think that's what it is. And now we've just let it go. It's like it's time they all saw what's really going on.
Matt, I understand you broke your arm.
I did.
Was it boxing?
Yeah, I've lost track of how many injuries I've had, but most of them are based around punching things.
Do you think you could beat Josh in a fight?
No. I would try though. But no, he's naturally gifted in that sense, I think. He's a lot bigger than me.
So you haven't tried?
No, I have been boxing with him, but not against him. And I've seen what he's capable of.
Alex, I read that you are a big fan of Louis C.K. What is it about him?
I don't know if I think I got exaggerated a little bit. You say these things in passing, Harriet, and
he's very funny though.
But he is very funny, yeah. There was a couple of his like stand-up things that we saw, but there was a thing I was interested in about there was some awards, like comedy awards, and he was talking about this comedian that I think a lot of comedians now perhaps see as like an inspiration, whose name's George Carlin, and he was explaining about you know, you start off writing jokes, pointing at things, and so isn't it funny when you're on the bus and whatever, blah blah blah. And because of his approach of like ripping it up at the end of every year or whatever, you say eventually you stop seeing the funny side of pointing at things and laughing, and you start to turn inward and explore that darkness. And I thought there was perhaps a similarity between that and songwriting. Because it isn't like somebody's like, oh, every musician wants to be a comedian and vice versa, which is bollocks, like, because there's no way I'd ever want to do that. So it seems terrifying.
Would you ever get a comedian to open for you, do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think that'll work either. Some things are just better left alone, aren't
They used to do it in the old days.
Did they?
In the 90s, it was quite a big thing. But yeah.
Well, say no more.
AM is probably your most experimental album yet. Is that kind of out of boredom with what you were doing previously, or are you just feeling the most confident you have?
Maybe a bit of both, really. Like, whilst I think the last record has its merits, it felt like once we started playing it live, it kind of exhausted itself pretty quickly. And that's why we wrote Are You Mine, because the touring had gone on to, you know, coming up to like a year or something then. It was like, maybe we need something fresh. And it was upon writing that tune, we discovered that there was something like the other side of that door. And the rest of the record is really us just exploring that.
Then are you feeling pretty confident as a band, especially after headlining Glastonbury your second time?
Feeling pretty good, Harriet. Yep, to be honest. Glastonbury was great. We've had a wonderful summer, haven't we, Matthew?
Great summer.
We're very excited about this new record. So I suppose, there is a confidence that's come from somewhere.
Were you not confident previously?
Yeah, I were. I don't know. I think I always have been. Maybe I'm a bit less now. Confidence.